Australia. Peter, welcome to News Breakfast. How worried are you about people's capacity to absorb these interest rate rises?
Thanks, Madeleine, and thanks for having us on News Breakfast this morning. Obviously, these rate rises are of concern. We've been conducting research since last year that shows the impact that this will have on borrowers right across Australia. And look, for the moment, most of it is largely manageable, but it is important that everybody stays across what's happening because, as you said before, there is more to come. And the Reserve Bank says the cash rate could hit 2.5%. We know across Europe and in America, rates are already jumping, same in Canada. It's going to happen here. We just need to plan for it, be prepared for it, and to stay in control of what happens of our own financial circumstances so that we look after what this future is going to look like. Because, you know, there's many borrowers in Australia that have never, ever experienced an interest rate rise since they got their loan.
Yeah, for nearly 12 years, we haven't had an interest rate rise. So we'll come on to the practicalities about the loans that the banks have written, because theoretically they're supposed to do what's called a stress test where they check that you can pay an interest rate of now up to 3% more than what you're paying. How reliable are those stress tests?
Well, those stress tests are very reliable at that point in time. But as we know, circumstances change as things go forward. So, you know, impacts on this could be discretionary spending habits have increased. With such a long period of low interest rates, people might have, since they got their home loan and that stress test was done, they've gone and bought a car that they've always wanted and financed it, and that's now got to be taken into consideration that wasn't then in the mass back in the day. So the underlying premise, what we call responsible lending, is sound. Things change, life moves on, and we need to look very closely at what's happening today. We know that as interest rates rise, around 75% of people said it's going to make life harder. And it will, because that's another expense you've got to cater for.
And just finally, Peter, some practical advice for people out there, Australians watching this thinking, oh, I'm a bit worried now. What can I do if they have a variable and if they have a fixed?
Sure, Madeleine. The first thing you need to do is talk to your bank, see if they'll do you a better deal. Banks are usually open to negotiation if it looks like they're going to lose the business. But if they don't want to talk, and in a rising interest rate environment, that's going to be challenging, you need to speak to a professional. And in our industry, the professional is a mortgage broker. That's who you need to be speaking to. There's around 19,000 odd around Australia. You'll easily find one. You'll get one through our website as well if you need one. But speak to a professional. You need that level of guidance, because it's a complex area of going through the paperwork and understanding what's in your best interest. Because mortgage brokers act in your best interest. They're governed by law to do it. It's important you do that. Variable rates, they're going to keep moving. Fixed rates have already jumped, but you've got to watch taking a fixed rate. It may not be suitable for your needs. That's why you've got to engage a professional to have a chat about it.
Okay, well, that is one option. The other option, as you said, is to go and do it yourself, speak to your bank and see if you are able to get a better deal, because often they will be able to accommodate if they can. Peter White of the Finance Brokers Association of Australia, thanks so much.
Thanks, Madeleine.